Welcome to No Man's Land, party people. Hey, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Lots going on, and also not as much going on. There's never nothing going on in the world of real estate and DF&W, but there's also never nothing going on the Todd Tremonti home selling team, but there's less going on this week, and we're going to talk about it. We're in what we call No Man's Land.
It's my favorite week of the year.
Where kind of people don't know what's happening. They don't know what day it is. What day of the week is it?
No.
What time is it?
And everything is just like, we'll get to me next week, after the new year. Okay. Especially this year with Christmas being on Wednesday and then New Year's Day is on Wednesday. It's like the whole thing's been a wash.
I kind of like it, but it's a disaster to a schedule of any kind. And not just, I know where you're going with it. It's not like just productivity wise, but you're like, okay. It's like there's a weekend every couple of days. It's just boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
Okay, folks, we are thrilled to not yet be fully out of what we like to call the holiday season. Love, love, love Christmas. But I do geek out a bit about New Year's. And so I want to make sure before we finish the show up, make sure we do this, Courtney. We talk a little bit about 75 strong.
Yeah, you love this.
I do. And I have to explain it because people might be thinking 75 hard. That's something different. Mm-hmm. And I borrowed, and I'll explain. I'll give credit where credit's due. And then you and I have multiple points of conflict this week. Would you like to address your assumption of what is in my head about your love of this week? Real quick. This is a real estate show. I'm Todd Tremonti. This is DFW Real Estate Weekly. That's Full Price Courtney over there.
Full Price Courtney.
And the first segment of the show is always brought to you by Patrick Glaros and his team at Patrick Glaros Mortgage Team. PatrickGlaros.com is where you want to go to check them out. PatrickGlaros.com, Glaros. I've known Patrick for 30-something years. He's been the only mortgage lender I've used for 20-something years. And at the end of the day, he's good as gold. You could trust him with your wallet and your keys and your kids, but all you need to trust him with is your mortgage decisions. And that's who I would talk to if I had any questions about mortgage at all. It's who I do talk to. It's who the bulk of our team use and a ton of our clients, thousands over the years, PatrickGlaros.com. I think he would agree with me that this is a strange week. It is both a week for rest, but it's also a really powerful week of productivity. Go ahead.
I just want to say about Patrick, and then I think it just speaks to what our team is offering in this next month, just with strategy sessions, and we'll be talking about those throughout the show. But I know working on your team, I probably wouldn't have explored real estate as an investment option as much as I am swirling it around in my head all the time.
Yep.
And what I love about Patrick and everybody on our team is just the value of having conversations, checking in on what your options are. And it has been so helpful. Patrick is an incredible resource to just talk about and explore what you might even be able to consider next year in 2025. And I think meeting with our team is also just invaluable. Those two things could change everything for you next year.
Beautiful. And I what I appreciate about your perspective, and we joke a lot on this show, Courtney learns real estate, blah, blah, blah. Courtney's the only person on our team, at least right now, for a long time, that is not actively licensed in real estate. She's on the media side and the client care side and making sure that people have a great experience with our team and get value. But your perspective as mom, homeowner, neighborhood involved person and not sales of homes as your primary thing is super helpful. I hear what you just said and it sounds so simple and common.
Obvious.
But what I believe you're saying is there's a lot of people that will open a door for you or kind of fill out the blanks of a contract for you, and they're not bad people, but they're not world-class experts that can truly open your eyes to opportunity and set you at ease about fears and anxieties and create a real plan for you to actually achieve your goal or your dream of whether that's homeownership or owning your first or 10th investment or having a real sense of comfort around your taxes and just how things work. That's what I'm hearing you say when it's you have access to legitimate experts who will be generous and share with you.
And because I'm not an agent, I think that I can speak to this team will tell you it's not wise for you to make that move right now.
Yeah.
I don't we could kick that ball down. I think with these adjustments, this could be possible or whatever. And that's what I really appreciate, because what I'm always pushing back on with you and with everyone is, tell me it's not a good time to buy.
Right.
When are you ever going to tell me it's not?
Yep.
And I believe this.
When you, your family, and your finances are not fully prepared, and occasionally when market timing is wrong. That's just not usually the thing. Market timing to buy in a market like ours is usually great because we're in a growth market for probably another generation. So all that to say, we appreciate your perspective. That's great commentary. Now, I know that I think a certain thing about this week.
I love this week. It feels like just a gift to humanity of quietness. Let's get to that next week. I feel like I'm able to sit down and kind of reflect on my year, journal, process the whole thing. And it just feels quiet, like a true vacation that you never really get, because when you take a trip, you're off and running.
Well, also, let me agree with you. When it's your trip, it's not everyone else's trip. Right? Like you take a trip, everybody else is still
They're
at
rocking
work.
and rolling.
This is
filling up your inbox.
This is the week where, at least in the West, I think in the United States, definitely in the South, most people are celebrating Christmas on some level, whether it's Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, other things. Like there's a season here of rest.
Feels like COVID.
In our market in DFW, this is about as wintry as we get. You get in January, February, we get some icy stuff, but this is like pleasant, cold, wintry, pretty reliably. And yes, Christmas has come to an end. There's a sense of completeness and finished, but not quite yet. Start your engines for the next thing. Am I hitting the...
Yes, and I think, and so I love it.
Yeah.
I assume that you hate that. That I would believe that I could stop is what I believe about you. I think that you go, what are you could be working on this. You could be learning this. You will pay.
Okay. Let me ask you, this show is going to be a little bit up and down, folks. It's probably going to be the best one we ever did. Why do you think that? What have I said or done? And let's just air it all. That tells you that I would say, do not take advantage of this restful finish and slow beginning, but just like there's work that could be done.
You function on a very high RPM. You are listening at a 2x speed always, so that you are ready to teach and coach at you have to learn in all the margins of your life. You have a lot going on, coaching kids, sports, and you're leading a team and coaching a lot of agents. So, and then I think that you just want and expect great things from people. You have an opportunity to do something incredible with your life. Why are you not constantly learning?
Here's what I'm going to say. That was actually a really fair assessment. I can appreciate that. There was nothing super negative or even ugly about what you just said. Oh, camera. Hey, folks, if you're watching us on YouTube, you just saw an exciting moment. If you're catching us live on radio, I won't say who, but someone almost tomahawked the camera on the ground and locked Ian, the English wonder, the Yanni Donnie, out of the studio. But we've recovered. And what I was saying is, Courtney, I actually think that was really fair. What I want you to know is I mean the words that I say. And what I often say to our team about this week is, hey, I want you to enjoy time with your family. I want you to enjoy rest. I don't want you to waste what is an incredible opportunity that week. So schedule the day or two that you want to take advantage of that opportunity, and schedule the 4 or 5 or 6 that you want to take advantage of all of that. In our world, in our business, I don't like to go along just with the way things always are, which would tell you a real estate agent has to work every night and weekend, every holiday and all that stuff. Or it would tell you a real estate agent has the maximum flexibility, can do whatever, whenever. I believe the truth is in the middle. And a great agent on a great team with the right resources can earn a lot of that freedom and flexibility, and you don't have to work every weekend and holiday. But there are some unique opportunities, and let me explain why this week is a unique opportunity. many of our listeners, friends, neighbors, clients right now are spending that downtime at home in their PJs. They have some time away from work. They might have a new device they're on, and they're probably thinking about their goals for next year. And we know statistically more people are searching houses online this week than like the last 10 or 12 weeks. It slows, it dips, and then it spikes. And so we know there are people with questions about real estate this week that need leadership and guidance and advocacy, and they need the truth. They need to discern the headlines and find out what's true. And for our team, especially our agents, that warrants taking a day or two out of this week and being available to those people, or having some strategy sessions where you have a cup of coffee in a more casual setting and lead and guide and talk people through that. But it doesn't mean grinding and working your face off and missing that rest and Sabbath and the joy of family and things. So yes, it is a little bit of a both and, but I would say, if you're talking about the dates between December 25th and January 2nd or whatever, I think our team, our agents especially, really benefit from being the answer to the questions of many of our friends and family in that 5, 6, 7 day gap for a day or two.
Hey guys, sorry I'm late.
And then really enjoying everything that we just said and agreed about, which is like, man, just the most of the rest of the world is in a lower gear this week, and enjoy that slower pace. Sleep in a little bit, have your extra cup of coffee.
Are we talking about the 2-week chill period?
We're talking about the 1 week chill period. And we're talking about
enjoy Christmas, enjoy your down week, but take advantage of the opportunity that it affords you.
Be a useful adult, be an attentive professional, be a contributor. If in fact we grew beans for a living, I think we could just go dark for the whole 2 weeks even, Ian, but we don't.
We don't.
Halfway through.
We enjoy the rest and we serve our people. We can do both. But I do love the rest. And I'm also a really, really big fan on taking this time to look back a little, meaning to enjoy all the great accomplishments and wins and log them and celebrate them, to take note of the misses and the places we've come up short, not to dwell on those, and then to spend the majority of that, introspective time thinking about what is possible next year. And then we'll talk later in the show. I'll give some specifics on what we do as a company with our team, with our friends and family, and with many of our real estate agents that we coach and consult with around the country, to kind of launch into the new year at our own pace, really optimistically, though, in a way that can create a phenomenal year for us. And we call that 75 strong, different than 75 hard. And later in the show, I'll give some specifics. And if you want to join us in that, we'll tell you how you can do that. So pretty cool stuff. I don't think we're disagreeing much, but we're obviously off a little bit, as I think it is joyful to be of value to others. And there's a really unique opportunity to be of pretty significant value a day or two during this 6 to 10, whatever you want to call it, period where most of the Western world slows down a good bit. So hopefully we benefit from the rest and the celebration, but also we can be of value to our friends who have real estate questions and needs. And we will do that at the Todd Tremonti Home Selling Team. So check us out, 214-310-0008, or online at toddtremontiteam.com. But Merry Christmas, and very soon to be a happy, happy New Year.
I'm of value to my chair and my ottoman by kicking my feet up.
He loves to kick his feet up. You know what else I love, Courtney? Would you like to know?
I can't wait to hear.
I like a good Baylor Bears football win. When the Bears just go out.
Sorry, folks, muted him.
Really hope that happens for you, because...
Did you hear anyone chewing ice in a microphone today, Ian?
Only the most professional of people that is doing a live radio show would do that.
I'm not making any broad observations, but I will say in the circumstantial experience, it was the LSU fan that thought it would be appropriate to crunch on ice directly into a microphone.
I felt good of people muting you, but I should have muted.
You're right, and I helped. It was just an assist. You got this. You got the point, but I helped. to hush the LSU fan while the Baylor fan, in a more classy manner,
we'll see,
got the competitive banter going.
We'll see.
You are now unmuted if you can behave yourself.
I apologize.
December 31st.
Like that you're hopeful about your win.
I could be more hopeful.
But LSU is going to win.
Statistically speaking, that is likely to be the case. But my hope,
I can't wait to sing the fight song,
is that the good guys meet the Tigers down in Houston at the Texas Bowl.
Are you going to go?
And prevail. Nope, I did go to the Texas Bowl once as a Baylor fan. It did not go well for us or me. I got drenched in rain on the way in. It was about 30 degrees, and then Baylor got crushed by Illinois. Not our finest moment in the postseason. But this year, my hope and optimism says we've got a shot.
They have these anti-rain devices. They're called umbrellas.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
They're not often allowed in stadiums, though. So it's a bit of a difficult situation. And either way, I was soaking wet and freezing cold, and we lost. So really the whole trifecta of misery there. But first world problems. This year, the Bears are going to pull it out. It's going to be a great win. I'm sure the LSU fans will be classy after their loss. They'll shake hands. They'll hug. They'll probably say thanks for coming out, as Baylor fans often do after the game. Not
Thanks for coming out.
I love that Todd painting Baylor fans as like
something
saints.
different.
Oh, shut your mouth. Are you in any way going to try to say that Baylor fans aren't generally kind and classy people? I've seen exceptions. I'm
going to go with the time that I went to Texas A&M Baylor baseball game that was anything but classy.
I don't even know if I believe that. I will acknowledge that I have seen some Baylor fans, usually the younger ones that got a bit entitled by a season of winning.
Let's just say I had to ask people to keep their language clean because my children were present and they were young.
I had to ask some Aggie fans to keep their language clean just for me one time as a freshman in the student section at A&M. But look, no one didn't see that coming. I'm not ripping on any other fan bases. I'm just saying I hope that LSU fans are kind as they exit NRG Stadium in Houston after losing to the Bears. We'll see how it plays out. We'll see how that plays out. What do you think real estate wise, Ian? Like as we talk to people and we get calls this time of year, where are people in their real estate goals? What are some of the goals you hear about heading into 2025?
Yeah, people right now that I'm talking to are kind of future thinking. They're like, we would like to have a conversation because we would like to do something first half of this coming year. I think that's generally where people were. People were like that in the beginning of December too, where it was like, we're good. We know what we want to do next year. We don't want to do it this year. Right. And now we're almost there. So that's where people are at.
I would say your comment about early December is helpful because post-election, pre-holiday, there was a good bit of energy and activity and optimism.
Would like to meet with somebody to be able to
be prepared.
Actually do it in the beginning of the year.
And so here comes the beginning of the year. We're post-election, post-holiday. I mean, moments post-holiday, but once we roll after New Year's, we're hearing a lot of people that are like, let's get together. Now, our team offers what we call free strategy sessions. So you don't have you don't have to sign with us. You don't have to pay anything. Wow. You can get 30 to 90 minutes face-to-face, and we'll buy you a beverage. What do you like? Coke, Topo Chico, coffee? You want a special beverage?
A special latte from Staycation.
Free promotion for Staycation for like the third time this month.
I can't help it.
But
Tito's and Coke.
Okay.
Nope.
Now, if you need to be virtual, we can jump on Zoom and do that. But it's best done in person. But basically 30 to 90 minutes of us answering your questions, helping you understand what is true and real in the marketplace right now.
We are generous.
What we believe to be, we have a 2025 DFW real estate market outlook. We'll share that with you. What we feel pretty confident is going to happen as far as pricing, inventory, competition, mortgage rates, development, and things like that.
And that's honestly something we put together over the course of probably a month.
Yeah, at least 4 to 6 weeks.
Full conversations with our team,
research,
brainstorming, researching, putting a ton of info and time into
it. And obviously on the ground feedback from our current active buyers and sellers and investors and folks that we're talking to. So it's a pretty helpful, I would say you're not going to find any news source for sure, anyone that's going to have a more helpful summary outlook on the 2025 market. And you can get that by having a cup of coffee or jumping on a Zoom with our team. We call that a free strategy session. You can sign up for one or request one. We're setting up most afternoons in January for that. It doesn't have to be an afternoon, but that's when most of them are. And you can call or text to request one right now, 214-310-0008. That's 214-310-0008. You can just text the word strategy or give us a call. You can jump on the website, toddtremonti.com. Just Google Todd Tremonti, whatever's easy for you, and start that ball rolling. And we would be happy to offer you a free strategy session. Now, let me clarify one thing. Even if you are not thinking, oh, we're going to buy or sell in the first quarter, that's fine. Any future real estate goals you have, we're happy to spend some time with you, give you some clarity, give you easier sleep at night knowing that you've done your homework and you have some answers. You may be 6 months or 6 years out. We'll be here. We've been here 20-something years already. We're going to be here for a long, long time. We're ready when you're ready. There's no pressure from us, but we can help you get a little more prepared, a little more clear. Those are called free strategy sessions, and you can request one right now at 214-310-0008 or online at
ToddTremontiTeam.com.
DP Lambert, Goosehead Insurance is
Good
your
man.
go-to guy when it comes to your home insurance, your auto insurance. He will shop as many places as you can think of, and he will be able to find you the best price, the best coverage, and he'll be able to get you all sorted out with that.
and he'll call you back.
He will actually call you back.
Or text you quickly.
It's incredible.
It's like service and stuff.
Shocking that he would take his business seriously enough to return a phone call, Todd.
That's right. Huh? He's a good guy, and you can contact him at dp.lambert@goosehead.com, dp.lambert@goosehead.com.
And if you forget any of the pros and vendors that we talk about here on the show, just head over to toddtremonti.com, click on the radio tab, and you will find all of their contact information right there.
Now, when we come back later in the show, we've got a lot to cover. We are going to talk about 75 Strong, goal setting, and some ways we've seen people really bring not just their real estate goals, but other goals to life, like their dreams into reality. I don't love the term dream home. It just seems a little like out of touch and silly. But this is where, like, I've dreamt of having an acre. I've dreamt of having a home of my own. We've dreamt of being on the golf course. We've dreamt of something larger or downsizing into the city or whatever the case is. This is where you go, okay, that's actually probably way more achievable than I thought. How do I make that happen? And we'll talk about how we've been helping people make things like that happen for decades, as well as how folks on our team make weight loss or health or relationship goals or travel goals or investment goals happen. We'll talk about some methodology that we use to share with our coaching clients as well as our team and our real estate clients to get some of those things done.
So not a dream home, but home dreaming.
A home that you've dreamt of. Huh? Yeah. Or if you're a buyer and you're a seller, and right now your dream is, I'd like to get into a home or out of a home without getting financially waylaid. We'll talk about that when we come back in the second half of the show as well. For now, if we can help you with anything at all, buying, selling, or investing, we do guarantee to sell your home over the average price and under the average time. We specialize in homes on land as well as neighborhood homes. We can help you with just about anything, but we have folks on the team that are dedicated to delivering world-class value when it comes to homes on land and neighborhood homes. 214-310-0008. And hey, don't forget,
Google Todd Tremonti and check out over 700 5-star reviews.
Welcome back, party people. Thanks for hanging with us through the break. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you all. There's been a lot of references to kicking your feet up and sweatpants so far on the show. So I hope you're enjoying some leisure, but also
a nice hoodie.
Also hope you're a little fired up about 2025. Remember when we used to use checks? I remember that was always my reminder that everything had changed and it was a new year because I kept writing the previous year's year on the check, but not a lot of checks getting written.
How do you feel about
days.
checks in a grocery store in 2024?
Well, I'll take the person in front of me using a check over me always having to do my own checkout all the time. But now when you don't do your own checkout, the person at the counter forgot they work there. So it's all a mess.
Here's my suggestion though. Ready? Tell me what you think of this. If you're going to use a check in a grocery store, you have to declare it as you walk in.
Using a check here.
Then you get like a balloon pinned to you.
Okay.
so that when you're
Don't get behind.
right,
Yeah.
don't get behind the balloon. That way we know you're using a check.
Says the two people who are emphatically committed to a slower pace of life this week, but you're enraged that someone in front of you could take 2 minutes to
Right,
check.
I've got to
out.
get back to my couch quickly.
It is when I am out in public, I'm mad I don't live in New York City because the pace at which they are, the efficiency in which they are getting you in and out.
In, get out, get home.
They.
Picking up the feet again.
Let's
They.
go.
Okay, you're done. Both of you are done. Here's the thing, people. It's a delightful time of year, but no, oh, you can't. No, your mic's not working. It's a great time of year, but there's something to be done. And there are things that need to happen in 2025, and we should talk about them. We should talk about goals. If you're a buyer, I strongly suggest you buy early in 2025. I think you will regret significantly if you don't. Now, I'm not saying you can't buy later if you're not financially ready and all those things, but if you're ready, you, your family, and your finances are ready, earlier is better than later. Prices are going up, competition's going up. I can't know all those things factually, but data, experience, indicators, and my gut, which is usually pretty reliable on these things, is telling us that if you're going to buy in 2025, earlier will be better for you. Now, if you're going to sell, that's a slightly different story. I don't think you need to be in quite as much of an urgent rush to sell, because I do think prices will continue to rise. I do think competition will increase, but you have to decide, if you're a seller and a buyer, how you want to time that. If you're a seller and a buyer, I'd be wanting to get that done first or second quarter. Part of that is because we have more confidence in what's going to happen then. Who knows what could happen globally, politically, wars and economy and all that stuff. So a little more urgency on the buy side, I think will go very well for you. On the sell side, urgency won't hurt you, but you can be more patient in 2025. And if you want a specific strategy for you, your family, and your finances, simply reach out. 214-310-0008. That's 214-310-0008. Now, I did promise that in the second half of the show, we would talk about our sort of goal setting strategy that we call 75 Strong, which you can apply to home buying, selling, weight loss, personal development, relationship growth, joy, whatever. I got this idea from a guy named Andy Frisella. So you might check out his podcast. He's a fan of the profanity. His show's called MFCEO. So good luck out there. But
like mother.
It's MFCEO. And he has something called 75 Hard. So I'm not okay. You know, I unmuted you both for 30 seconds and you're done. I just want to give credit where credit is due. I borrowed the idea from him and I made it my own, and I acknowledge that. But I don't know how many years ago, 7, 8 years ago, I came to the team in earlier mid-December, and I basically said, look, I've been looking at this thing, this goal setting deal, this achievement thing, and I've kind of made it my own. You can go check his out or whatever. What my thing is, and I start usually like on the third or fourth, the first day that like critical mass, everybody on our team and our consulting clients are kind of back at work, things like that. You set 5 goals. Every single one of these goals needs to be a daily to-do item. So let's just say one of your goals is like, I want to drink more water. Okay, you need a daily goal. So what's a daily water goal? Like 1 ounce per pound you weigh? Is that right? Or is it?
I haven't heard that.
No, I've heard that.
Okay, so that's very difficult, by the way.
A lot.
But let's just say you weigh 150 pounds and you're like, I want to drink 150 ounces of water, which is, again, very hard. Your goal might be, okay, 150 ounces of water per day for 75 days. That's one of your 5 daily goals. Here's the crazy part, and I know it's crazy. If you miss one day of one of your goals, you restart the clock on all of your goals. And what you're trying to achieve is 75 straight days of hitting all 5 of your goals. Again, Andy Frisella, his deal is called 75 Hard, and there's 5 specific things. Everybody does the same 5 things. My version, we call 75 Strong. Our goal is to create mental strength, knowing that I really almost always can. I'm just choosing not to. I don't feel well, so I didn't go for the walk. I could have gone for the walk. It might have been miserable, but I could have done it. And at the end of 75 days in achieving this, which I've done every year for the last 7 or 8 years, a couple of years I've had to restart because I missed something or I had made a mistake or whatever. But at the end of that, you're like, I'm pretty mentally strong. Like I could do just about anything. Certainly on occasion, life does happen and gets in the way. But most of the time, I am the reason I am not doing what I want to do. I am the reason I haven't achieved my goals. So if your goal was home buying, for example, you could set, if that was one of your things, every single day I'm going to move the ball forward towards, every time I unmute you two, I regret it. Every single time. You're 0 for 3 today, you're 0 for 2. Both of you. If this is baseball, you're done and you're hanging on by a thread. Okay. And I'm not even pitching. You're just striking yourselves out. Okay. So if it was home buying and every single day you had a goal, you might say, I'm going to move a slight step closer every single day. I'm going to talk to a lender. I'm going to get online and save some searches. I'm going to talk to a real estate agent. I'm going to drive some neighborhoods. You're not going to buy a house every day. That's a fair joke. But the point is, you're going to legitimately be more informed, more capable, more prepared, more ready, closer. Okay. Most of these are more like, I'm going to drink a certain amount of water. I'm going to do some push-ups. I'm going to pray with my wife. I'm going to go on a walk. I'm going to read a story to my kids. I'm going to lift something heavy. I'm going to read 10 pages. It could be anything, but those are some of the more popular. I'm going to eat a serving of vegetables. I'm going to eat a piece of fruit, whatever. So this is one of those things that we often, for the last 7 or 8 years, we invite all of our team members, all of our coaching and consulting clients, and most, not all, but the majority jump in with us. And then we start January 2nd or 3rd. So we end up wrapping up most people in March, April, or May, depending on if they've had to start over or reset. But it's a really cool way to do it. It's hard to do alone. So we run together. We use an app called Habit Share. Again, free promotions here. There's a free version of that app where you can share your habits that you're tracking with each other. And we use that to achieve our goals in 5 key areas, or maybe it's one area with 5 daily goals. But just imagine you go 75 days straight of doing 5 very specific things that you want to do to enjoy life more, to be healthier, to have more fun, to engage with people, whatever it is, every single day for 2.5 months. It's pretty powerful, pretty life-changing. And we have many, many, many team members and coaching clients who don't stop. They're like, this feels good. The results of this are excellent. And now they're 2 or 3 or 4 years in of almost every single day habit. So that's something we do. We have a lot of fun with it. We usually set up a Facebook group for our team and consulting clients, coaching clients, so that there's some sharing and encouraging and a little competition and smack talk in there. Pretty good stuff. Okay. Hopefully that's helpful to people, whether it's a real estate related goal or not. Happy New Year. Whether it's a New Year's resolution or you prefer the term commitments or goals, there's nothing magical about the calendar rolling over and being in a new year, but there is something psychologically helpful about a fresh start, a blank slate. Everyone else is kind of starting over. It's popular to have the New Year's resolution. What we don't want to do is be the person that gets the new gym membership and is excited for 4 or 5 days, and then, like so many others, you didn't stick with it. So this is one of the ways to try to stick with it that's been pretty successful for us. If you have real estate questions, folks, we're here to take them. 214-310-0008. You are listening to DFW Real Estate Weekly with Todd Tremonti. I'm Todd Tremonti. I also have in the studio Full Price Courtney in the English Wonder, the Yanni Donnie. They're not behaving themselves very well today, so they've been muted.
We've been benched.
They've been muted quite a lot. We're going to try again and see if they can behave themselves. Courtney,
yes.
What must happen in your life to celebrate New Year's or New Year's Eve?
I mean, I'm more of a New Year's Day girly. I love Black Eyed Peas.
The band?
Me too.
The band?
Sorry,
no.
Miss Jackson.
No.
Ooh. Huh?
Is that their song?
No.
Okay.
Oh, it's not.
Wow, that was tough.
That's not the same.
Again, benched. I just love the Black Eyed Peas and cornbread. And
Andre 3000.
I think it's a fun tradition.
Outcast.
So that's something I have.
Trying to help him get there.
What do you have to do? I used to love partying, but these days that sounds terrible.
Doesn't it?
Ew. Todd.
Don't go out and drive after like 7 p.m. on New Year's Eve.
No.
Oh, that's early. Just don't go out.
Just
It's a
snuggle
festival of idiots out there.
Todd-
We still love you if that's your thing. We just know you'll be over it soon enough.
Yeah.
It's amateur night.
Been there, done that.
Todd
lost
sent
many
me a link to like a
Which
party
Todd?
downtown.
Which Todd?
Boyfriend Todd.
Okay, just wanted to be clear.
And
I did not send any party
I
links.
was like, really?
Like, who are you?
Really? I don't know. It feels hard.
Yeah.
My wife normally stays up with the kiddos and do like inside s'mores. We have one of those little inside s'mores things.
Absolutely support that.
I go to bed.
Yeah. At what time?
Depends.
I think
At 10 o'clock.
I
Depends
think
how the football games are going.
Our family's usually pretty committed to 11 o'clock. You watch the New York ball drop,
Yeah.
and then you're like, nailed it.
Yeah.
Happy almost New Year.
Like, what are we doing?
But I've got 2 teenagers. I'll say it one more time. It just sounds crazy. I have 2 teenagers.
It's
I
wild.
know for a fact we're not far. Like, in the next couple of days, they're going to be like, what do we do? Oh, we're staying up till midnight. Now, we go camping. And so it is more fun
Yeah, that's fun.
when you're outside and you've got the bubbly grape juice and, you know, adults have champagne. We do fireworks. We do a huge bonfire. So that's kind of our tradition. It's pretty fun.
You're not one of those dads. It's like, as long as you're drinking around me, you're safe.
I'm going to leave. I'm not going to comment on that other than to say, no, I am not that dad.
Me neither.
I just, you know, whatever.
Correct, Courtney. You are not a dad.
I am not a dad.
You're not that kind
You
of
are
dad.
correct.
All right.
And you're
so,
probably that kind of dad.
you know, should he get
What kind of dad?
Oh,
should he get any more microphones today? You know, he didn't even.
his kids probably already drink.
The best part of the don't comment. Do not comment. The best part of this is he wasn't even here for the first half of the show. He rolls in hot. She tried to lock him out. And now I understand why. You know,
Here's what I will say.
Good producing.
This week he just didn't have the self-control. He was
I'm
kicking his
English.
feet up so
I
much.
know. That's
I'm
why.
English.
That's why I
That's all
know
I'm
you're
saying.
serving it at dinner.
The English wonder himself, the Yanni Donnie, has made it clear he's English. Now,
I'm English.
Now, Courtney asked me a question earlier, Ian, and I'm going to give you one more chance. I believe you can do this,
Okay.
and it is comical, so try hard.
Okay.
She said,
Yep.
this is a Homes on Land show. Let's talk about fireworks on land. Can I just set them off? Wait, there's a second part of this question. Does living on land mean no laws?
It's a fair question.
Fair question.
Not
It feels where people go
not
to
a
go
fair
rogue.
question.
Yeah.
Now, that's not wrong, but it doesn't mean there's no laws.
Like 50 acres, no laws. Right?
Okay.
Do whatever you want out here.
Oh, man, y'all.
I mean, I'm not encouraging
Murder.
Full anarchy. Okay, let me answer the question just so that we can have a record of it. Living on land does not mean no laws. Now, depending on where you live, it definitely means varying degrees of restrictions.
No HOA.
We did a show very early fall. Remember about fires and burning stuff in the backyard? So check out the YouTube channel for that. What can you burn in your backyard? It's a pretty good idea. But for example, if you live in the city limit, which this is the one thing I feel like I might have gotten wrong about our property. I love our property. I love our big backyard, but we are in the city limits. So we cannot shoot fireworks off in our backyard. Now, we go out to the deer lease to camp for New Year's or other state parks and stuff. This year will be deer lease. But that's out in the county. So there are significantly fewer restrictions. Now, you could have a burn ban, which is county-wide, but you're not, once you're outside the city limits, this is true everywhere that I know of, you can go, pretty full throttle with fireworks. You can do mortars and Roman candles and bottle rockets and all that good stuff.
In England, we just set those suckers off anywhere you wanted.
Yeah.
I don't think we're supposed to, but
Well, I grew up in a neighborhood that was outside of the city limits, and it was like don't drive in the neighborhood on that night, New Year's or 4th of July, because it was just fireworks everywhere.
I'm not saying that I was involved in this, but I was once on a ski trip where there was fireworks that was
Tied to the
launched,
skis.
and they would just land on all the snowy roofs.
Yeah, sort of an avalanche situation. Anyway, the answer to the question is there are still laws on even if you have a big backyard. But when you do have land and you're outside the city limits, man, fireworks can become a real tradition and celebration. And that's one of the reasons we like to get outside the city limits and go camping, is because we do huge bonfires. We cook anything you can cook over the fire, and then we love to do pretty big fireworks. So
Can use sparklers inside the city limits, so technically fireworks are
Is that
allowed?
true? Have you verified that, legally speaking?
Yeah, I mean, I've done it.
I know lots of people who have done it. I just don't know if that's kosher. But
we
are fans. We are fans of safely or mostly safely used fireworks. We did have a scare a few years back in Katy, Texas, that even I was a little jarred by. But let's just say we all survived it, and we're not going to do that again. But listen, folks, when it comes to Happy New Year's and the celebration of it, Courtney likes the Black Eyed Peas, not the band. Ian likes Outkast, is a band. And I like camping and fireworks. What do you like? Let us know on the social media situations. Find us, Todd Tremonti Realtors, especially Facebook and Instagram. We're all over the YouTubes as well. Don't miss the podcast. But on the social media stuff, let us know what you do for New Year's or New Year's Eve. What do you eat? What's your favorite beverage? Do you light anything on fire in your family? Let us know. I'm also intrigued at how you handle New Year's resolutions, goals, or any commitment like our 75 strong deal. If, by the way, buying or selling a home, whether it's for your family or an investment, rental of any kind, or even a flip, is one of your goals for this year, call or text us right this second. We'll set you up for a completely free strategy session sometime in January, where we'll give you 30 to 90 minutes at no cost, no obligation. Talk through your options, talk price, talk strategy, how to make money, how to protect your family. We'll talk about whether you should do that right now, in a month, in a year, in a decade, whatever's right for you. Just text 214-310-0008, or you can call 214-310-0008, or you can just Google my name, Todd Tremonti. Spell it as best you can. I'm pretty confident you'll find us.
Let me float a little New Year's resolution idea by the two of you. Tell me what you think. Especially Courtney, I'd like to hear ideas.
You're going to set a resolution to behave yourself on the radio show.
Set the resolutions on the first, fail them on the second. Okay. That way you get the failing out quickly.
You know, we gave him a fifth chance, and that's what he did with it.
Oh,
no, he just kicked everyone. He kicked everyone who's listening. Metaphorically, just kicked him in the gut. You know, he said, "Let's just fail on the second day." You know, you've never been more British, Ian.
I think Courtney secretly wants to agree with me on this one. The look on her face was like, you're not wrong.
I mean, hot take. I hate goals.
214-310-0008. If you could possibly send encouragement, if you could send help, if you could send team members, we might need a couple new ones in 2025. It's rough over here, folks. It's rough. If you need to know the value of your house, just go to toddtremontiteam.com, click the home valuation tab. Soon that page will probably have a hiring and recruiting campaign going on the front banner, because it's very likely that Courtney and Ian will be looking for jobs, because they've done nothing more on this show than to attempt to discourage you, our friends and neighbors, and me.
Discourage?
Not only the host of the show, but their employer, their broker, used to be their friend. In 2024, we were friends. In 2025, it feels as though they've made a pact to destroy any progress, any optimism, any joy left after the holidays. Folks, 214-310-0008. Send help. Send any needs you have for real. I'll find others to help you. There's John, there's Jeremy, there's Mari, Gibson, Grady. David is super helpful.
I do think we've brought joy to each other today.
Oh, man. He's found the mute, but I got it again. We're good. Listen, people, maybe only me in the studio at the moment, would love to be of service to you, to be an encouragement, to be a resource, to use my God-given gifts and abilities to help you enjoy the home you have, to help you buy another one, to help you sell one if you need to. For many of you, to sell one and buy another one. Maybe on land, maybe with a 1 or 2 or 3 acre backyard where you can do a lot of these things. Maybe a great neighborhood that you've been eyeing for a while based on a school district or a commute, close to the job, a park, a church, whatever your deal is. Maybe it's close to a Trader Joe's or a Whole Foods, Courtney. I'm willing to talk to you, but you're not allowed to talk to me on air anymore. Listen, people, my hope is that throughout the year of 2024, and certainly previous years, that this show, previously named Texas Real Estate with Todd Tremonti, now named DFW Real Estate with Todd Tremonti, and maybe at some point potentially renamed again, always here with Todd, for a long time with Ian, and for a little while now with Courtney, All that's TBD for 2025. But my hope is that we have been of value to you this year, that this show has been of value to you, that our podcast, which you can find anywhere you find podcast, just DFW Real Estate Weekly with Todd Tremonti, that's been of value to you, that the YouTube channel, we have 2. You can just search Todd Tremonti. You'll find the main one with hundreds and hundreds of videos about real estate and how to and different areas in DFW, or our Homes on Land channel with ways to enjoy and buy and sell and even build a home on land. We hope that's been of value to you. We have home buying guides, home selling guides. We have some quizzes where you can find out your home buyer readiness, your home seller readiness. You can find out your property value literally, truthfully, legitimately in less than 60 seconds. All of that starts online at toddtremontiteam.com. Of course, that's how we build our business and we find people to help buy and sell homes. But even if you're not ready to do that, if you'll go to toddtremontiteam.com, I absolutely guarantee you that there's something there of value to you. There's no ads there. We're not trying to share the weather for you there or be your source of news. We're trying to be a source of real estate expertise that is valuable to you, to track the value of your investment, to enjoy your home more, to buy and sell strategically, to make these leapfrog financial decisions that can help get your family way ahead of where you would otherwise be. Whether you're single, married, family, old or young, new homeowner, 10th time homeowner, we're here to help you if you're looking for residential real estate on land or in a neighborhood. Those are the things we specialize in, but we're glad to add value for you in any way that we can, whether it's with a vendor or anything else. If you're looking for garage floor help, goodgaragefloors.com is incredible. If you need insurance help, DP Lambert is amazing. For mortgages, we are die hard for Patrick Glaros. And if you need anything else, let us know. We would love to introduce you to people that we've had great experiences with, that we trust. And if we can be of any value to you in 2025, we'd be thrilled to offer you a free strategy session. No charge, no obligation. Just call or text 214-310-0008.
So I'd like to be serious for a second. I would like to wish everybody a happy new year. Be safe. Don't drink and drive. There's lots of services that allow you to not have to do that. As a former police officer, I would please ask that you do not drink and drive. Happy New Year.
Well done. Happy New Year, folks. We'll see you and we'll talk to you in 2025.
And now, this.